Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On this channel we talk about everything to do with the African diaspora, politics, life, love, music and everything in between. So today I just wanted to say, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Rwanda. So Rwanda commemorates the genocide every April on the 7th. And that is to mark what was the 1994 genocide. So often when people talk about Rwanda, they think of the genocide, and I guess with good reason. It was a very significant and sad period of world history, really. So just to give you a little bit of background, so Rwanda is basically a landlocked country. They're surrounded by Burundi, Uganda, so I'm just, and the DRC and Tanzania. Looking at my notes, and Tanzania. So it's landlocked, and basically the country was colonized by the Germans and later the Belgians. Both of these European powers recognized that there was a social strata in place, and they exploited that. So they had one group of people preferred over another group of people. The people who were not preferred began to feel increasingly marginalized, and I guess they were, because the colonizers were, favoring and giving preferential treatment to one group of people over another, allowing them to, gain an education and have some sort of political clout. Having said that, it's good to remember that the country was ruled by indirect rule, which was a favourite tool of the colonizers. So basically, indirect rule is where the person who maybe is collecting your taxes is not really the person collecting your taxes, but that person just looks like you. So if you're going to have any hatred towards anybody, it's going to be towards the person that looks like you, because you're not seeing the real power behind the person. So basically that's indirect rule, and they would use, local chiefs and chieftains to kind of run their affairs for them at their benefit. Anyway, so on the tensions increased, and on the 6th of April, the president at the time was flying back from Tanzania, I think it was Dar es Salaam, with the president of Burundi, and the plane was shot down. And that really was the torch, or the touchlight, the trigger point to the genocide. As the plane was shot down on the 6th, the genocide began in earnest on the 7th, and over the period of 100 days, up to a million people were killed, were slaughtered. When I went over there, I went to the Genocide Memorial Museum in Kigali, and I had a tour guide, a historian, who took me through the whole story of Rwanda, the history, pre-colonialism, then during colonialism, independence and conflict, and after the conflict, the resolution. So I was really intrigued by how they were able to build a nation after that. One of the striking images I saw, there were many, honestly, there's just so many, but it was a child, and the child had like a gaping ship wound. And I remember just thinking, how can anybody ever come back from that? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you forgive? But they did embark on truth and reconciliation. They had a very strong leadership in Paul Kagame, who's still there now, and lots and just so much community development initiatives and work focused around healing, focused around forgiveness, and focused around moving forward. Tribalism is something that is not, you don't talk about it in Rwanda, you don't talk about the differences. You're all Rwandese or Rwandan, and that's it. They have a very strong national identity, and it's that national identity that keeps, that helps to it helps with the healing, and it helps towards the development also, that all people feel that they are a part of the rebuilding of the country. The last Saturday of every month, they all get together and they clean. Rwanda is the cleanest place I've ever been to, the cleanest country by far, hands down. Every morning, and it's not a gendered role, men and women. I watch men cleaning, I watch women cleaning. I was a guest, so I didn't really have to do much cleaning, although I'm happy to do it. But yeah, they would, they get out and sweep the yard. They really take personal responsibility over their impact that they have on their environment, and because of that, the whole place is phenomenal. In terms of the security forces, Rwanda is definitely a place that it's the safest country I've ever felt. I felt really safe there. I've got lost and canals like security to help me, find my way or whatever, and they will do that. I travelled out to provinces, and before you go, the police will check your car, check the tire pressure, check your petrol, your water gauge, the whole nine. Make sure that you're roadworthy. They're not asking for money at all. There's no such thing as bribing of officers on the street. They just have so much pride in what they do and in their country. Is absolutely something that I think a lot of other countries, African countries, can learn so much from Rwanda. If you think about Biafra and you think about the the conflict that occurred between Nigeria and Biafra, and the way that is not really spoken about, not really, well, it is talked about a lot, but it's never been really addressed. It was never addressed correctly, and definitely not in the way that Paul Kagame and the leaders in Rwanda have been able to do. And it shows, because if you look at today, there's still, and in fact there's a growing a growing desire to leave Nigeria. So you have a growing voice there that just gets louder and louder, and a lot more people are dissatisfied with the country of Nigeria. So, but that is not the same in Rwanda, and it's because the leaders have been able to build a real strong sense of identity and national identity, and a great pride in oneself, and a great respect for history and culture. So, if you have time, definitely check out Rwanda, check out the culture. I love the food, I love the music. Definitely, there's a lot of tall police officers in Rwanda. Check it out anyway. Look at the history, but you can definitely learn a lot about forgiveness and building a nation. So I think if any African leader wants to know how to correct and fix their nation, have a chat with Paul Kagame. I think you might learn something. Okay, peace.